Are you sick of this stupid amount of DLC in The Sims? Well, today I'm going to show you a lot of content from The Sims 4 DLC, paid DLC, that are actually coming in inZOI's base game. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bloom and I love making videos about simulation and cozy games, so if you like that type of content, make sure to subscribe. We're going to start this list with a very impactful DLC in The Sims 4 that I think pretty much everyone that plays The Sims, they either have the pack or at least they want the pack. In inZOI, we're getting seasons and weather in the base game. Not only the weather is going to run like automatically, so you don't have to change it, but you're also going to be able to change it with the settings. So the only difference, the main difference I think between the pack, The Sims 4 Seasons pack and inZOI is that The Sims 4 Seasons, we have holidays and we have the calendar, and in inZOI base game we haven't heard anything yet if we're going to have a holiday system or not. But even if we don't, we're getting seasons in the base game, and I think that's amazing. And honestly, I think seasons should always be part of any life simulation game base, because how can you simulate life without seasons? I don't know. I just know that we're getting seasons in inZOI base game and I'm really excited about that. And also the footage that we've seen, it looks really good. All the seasons, they look really well done. And the weather system as well is going to be really good. We're getting rain, we're getting all of that in the base game. So yeah, seasons and weather in inZOI's base game. The next thing is apartments. It's also a big thing, I believe, because a lot of simmers I know, they love playing with apartments, and we are getting that in the base game of inZOI. And in The Sims 4, I don't exactly know which pack to call apartments pack, because we have apartments in Sims 4 City Living, we have apartments in Eco Lifestyle, and we have For Rent, which is also got apartments, but it's a different system, but it's also apartments. So I don't know, we have like apartments in 3 different packs. And in inZOI, we're getting that in base game. And it's not just that. In inZOI, we are going to be able to build the buildings. And you can even build with unlimited floors, although it's recommended to only build 4 floors to your builds. But yeah, in inZOI, we're going to be able to build apartments with base game. Another one that is quite cool that we're getting in inZOI's base game are animals, although, wait, chill. We're not getting like pets. We're not going to be able to adopt them with the base game, at least not now. So what we've heard so far is that we're going to have animals in the world, like in the cities, and we're going to be able to interact with them. Like you can give them food or you can pet them, but you're not going to be able to adopt them. But they're already working on that, and I don't know if it's going to come as an update for the base game or if they're going to make like an expansion pack dedicated to adopting pets. And in The Sims 4, we have like 3 different packs for pets. We have cats and dogs, and then we have the pack for the cats and dogs pack, which is my first pet stuff. And then we have Hot's Ranch. So yeah, it's divided in different packs, and in inZOI we're getting pets in base game. You can't adopt them, but they're still there, you can interact with them, and we are getting a huge, like a crazy amount of different animals that you're going to be able to interact with. They even mentioned some really like different animals that I think no one was expecting, like crocodiles and stuff like that. So it's going to be really cool. Another thing that we're getting in inZOI's base game is likes and dislikes. And in The Sims 4, you need a pack to be able to choose your Sims likes and dislikes. And in inZOI, you're going to be able to choose that in base game. So with inZOI's base game, you're going to be able to set preferences to your ZOIs. Well, for your ZOIs. Another big one is life careers. You know, as I'm making this list, I'm realizing how crazy it actually is. The amount of things that we're going to get in inZOI's base game that we have to pay a lot of money to have in The Sims 4. It's really exciting, but at the same time, I get a bit worried that we are going to have a lot of microtransactions in inZOI. But if we do have like lots of microtransactions in inZOI, but if it doesn't affect your experience as a player, then I guess I prefer to have that. Do you see what I mean? I hope it was clear. The live careers, they actually look really cool and they look like they're going to be very much in depth. It even makes me think that it's going to be more complex than the live careers that we got with Get to Work. They look like very detailed and they're going to like be part of your gameplay quite smoothly, if that makes sense. It's going to adapt well with the gameplay. Because like with The Sims 4 Get to Work, the live careers, I don't know about you, I know a lot of people love live careers, and I do. I really like live careers and I do play with them sometimes. But I feel like they are almost out of place. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if it's because of the loading screens, but just something about it just feels odd to me. And inZOI, I feel like it's going to be more immersive, if that makes sense, because it's like, it's an open world. You're going to be driving to work, doing your thing. You're going to be actively playing with your sim, with your Zoe. And I don't know if I feel a bit different with The Sims 4 live careers. I don't know if I made sense, but I hope you understood what I tried to say there. Now I want to talk about some small little things that we're going to get in inZOI base game that they came inside different Sims 4 packs. So we're going to have karaoke in inZOI's base game, but I think that one is quite expected because since it's like a South Korean game, I think and because it's like a big part of South Korea, at least that's what it looks like from what the media shows. So I think it's almost expected that it would be in base game. I don't know if that makes sense. And for me, that's really cool. We're also getting photo booths in inZOI's base game. We're getting vending machines in inZOI's base game. We are going to get arcade machines in inZOI's base game, which is so cool. There's so many different types of lots that we could make with all of these little items. And we're also getting the food stands in inZOI's base game. We're going to be able to hike and we're going to have like touristic places in some of the cities like Dowon. We know that we're going to have some touristic, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but you know, for tourists. We're going to have some areas in Dowon like ancient palaces that you can go and visit, and of course you can go hiking. And we don't have that in The Sims 4 base game. If you want to go hiking, you need Snowy Escape. And if you want to go to visit touristic places, well, there's lots of different packs for that. Another cool feature that I was really excited about is that in inZOI, we are going to have a dirt system in the base game. So not only your house is going to get dirty, but furniture and clothes are also going to get dirty. And with the base game, we are getting hoovers and washing machines. And I know some people really love that laundry day in The Sims 4. So you're going to be happy to know that we're getting that in inZOI's base game. Another thing that we're getting in inZOI's base game, I keep repeating that, we are getting yoga in base game. You don't need to buy Spa Day like in The Sims 4 to have yoga in the base game. I don't know if we're going to have like a wellness system with that, but I feel like yoga is just like part of fitness as well in a way. So it makes sense. Oh, another thing, since we were already talking about that, in inZOI we are going to have advanced gym equipment. You know, like how in The Sims we only have like treadmill and the weight machine. In inZOI we're going to get dumbbells as well. You know how Lovestruck kind of teased us about dumbbells? We might get dumbbells in the future in The Sims 4, but in inZOI's base game we're going to have advanced gym equipment. So I think that's really exciting. I download mods for The Sims 4 to have more gym equipment. I'm not a gym person, but I want my Sims to be a gym person, so I like having like different gym equipments and to make gyms look more realistic as well. Oh yeah, it's just another one. We are actually getting babies in inZOI's base game. In inZOI we're getting that like from day one. From day one we are going to be getting babies in inZOI. You're not gonna have to wait years to have babies in inZOI like we had to in The Sims 4. Another thing that you're going to get in inZOI's base game is cafes and restaurants. So no, you're not gonna need to dine out, you're not gonna need get together to have cafes. We are going to be getting that in inZOI's base game. And we saw some cool footage of like PC cafes in inZOI. So I'm really excited to see that and to play in that lot. And last but not least, I think this is my favorite. We are getting beaches. We are going to get beaches in inZOI's base game. You don't need to pay for island living. And I grew up in a coastal city and I lived by the sea most of my life. So I know a lot of people, most simmers don't like island living, but there's one pack that I find necessary in The Sims 4 is island living, because it's such a big part of my life. And to know that we are going to be getting that in inZOI's base game is so exciting to me, and I'm really happy with that feature. Now I want to talk about some things that we don't have in The Sims 4 and we are going to have in inZOI's base game. We are going to have open worlds. Of course in The Sims 3 we had open worlds, but I'm comparing it to The Sims 4. So we are having open worlds in inZOI. We are going to have a traffic system as well as functional cars, and they're not only going to be functional, but you're going to be able to do more things with them, like clean. I think we're going to be able to tweak them. And in some clips you could see Zoe's using the trunk, so the boot, I don't know how you call that, you know, the back part of the car where you put your suitcases in. So I think that's really exciting. I absolutely love cars, and in The Sims 3 and 2 I used to play with them all the time. I think it's a huge part of The Sims, like any life simulation game in general. So I'm really happy and I'm really excited to have that in inZOI. In The Sims 4 I use all cars mods available, even though it's a modder made like functional cars in The Sims 4, but it doesn't work properly. But like you drive it as if it was a bike, but even so I still think that's better than no cars, so I use that. So yeah, I think it's another really necessary thing to have in a game, although I know most people won't agree with me. I'm talking about me personally. I think cars are very essential. We're also gonna have elevators. We're having lifts in inZOI's base game. We've seen it in clips before and it works. It reminds me of The Sims 2 lifts, where your sim gets inside the lift and you can see everything happening. So in inZOI we saw Zoe's going inside the lift and doors opening and shutting. So we're going to have lifts. I don't know if we are going to be able to use them in build mode, but they are going to be in the game. Another cool feature about inZOI is that we are going to have cutscenes, and that's something that I used to love so much in The Sims 2. And it was so much fun. I really miss having cutscenes. In inZOI we're gonna have that, so I'm really excited about that. Another cool thing that we're having in inZOI base game is supermarkets and convenience stores. We had supermarkets in The Sims 2 and The Sims 3, and we kind of have like markets in The Sims 4 as well, but it works a little bit different. So in inZOI we're going to have that, and I'm really excited. Okay, so now I'm going to say something that some of you might not like, but I always play with like simple living. You know how you need to have all the ingredients in order to cook something? I really like that, and I honestly think that's necessary. I really dislike being able to cook anything from the fridge just by paying some simoleons. I don't like that at all. So I don't know how it's going to work in inZOI. I hope, don't be mad at me, but I hope that in inZOI you need to buy ingredients in order to cook things or to grow ingredients or whatever. And another thing that we're going to have in inZOI's base game that we don't have in The Sims 4 but we had in The Sims 3 is we're going to be able to customize anything with color wheels and custom textures. I don't know if you're going to be able to upload your own textures to inZOI. If that's possible, that would be really cool. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but there are already lots of textures and we're going to be able to use AI to make textures. So yeah, that's a cool feature. And the last one that may not be so important for some of you, but for people that create content, that's really important, which is a screenshots system. So in The Sims, if you want your Sims to pose and if you want to hide like the UI if you want to do all of that in The Sims, you have to use mods. Like in CAS, you can't hide UI unless you use mods. I know you can hide UI in live mode if you press tab, but in inZOI you're actually going to be able to do that in CAS as well. So they're also going to allow you to pose, like they're going to give us so much features to make cool screenshots with inZOI, and I am so excited for that. It's one of the things that I'm most excited about. I do love taking screenshots of my games. So when I saw what they're doing in inZOI, I was so excited. Did you know that like in CAS, you were going to be able to change the lights, and if that wasn't enough, you're also going to be able to change the position of the lights? Isn't that crazy? You can change the CAS background, you can change your ZOI's facial expressions, how they pose, you can do all of that. It's called studio mode. I am really excited to try studio mode. Yeah guys, so this is the list that I was able to come up with. If you can think of all the features, please let me know in the comments. I'm really so excited for inZOI to be released. I can't wait to try this game. I can't stress enough how excited I am. I really love simulation games, and recently I've been really disappointed with The Sims 4, and I think that's everyone's feelings right now. It feels like The Sims 4 is coming to an end, so I'm really excited and I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that we are going to have different games now, that we don't have to rely in The Sims 4 only, because you know in the past we only had The Sims and that was it. Now we're going to have inZOI and Paralives, so I'm really excited and I'm very happy and grateful that we're going to have different options now. Not necessarily that I'm going to abandon The Sims, but just to have like a fresh look, a fresh perspective on life simulation games. Do you see what I mean? So it might be that I'm going to play The Sims 4 and inZOI. You know, like playing one game doesn't mean that the other game, that you're going to completely abandon the other game. So I'm really happy and excited to have more options now. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like inZOI content, please make sure to check out my latest video on inZOI. Well, before this one. I made a video listing everything that we know so far about inZOI. So please make sure to check that one out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!